Once upon a time, there were some geese living
What
in
is
the
it
north.
called?
It's called the late flying geese. Now, I told you a story about the geese that left, and they flew south for the winter.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, right.
This is the late flying geese. Okay. Geese always fly in a V circle.
No.
I mean a V. They do. When they fly in a V. And you have the head geese up here, and the others are like this, and they fly, and then this one will come to the front, get in the head, and this one will go to the back. So the ones in front of them kind of block the wind, so it's not so hard to fly. But this one winter was an especially bad winter. Most of the geese had already left up in Michigan. They left and had already flown south to Texas. You ready to hear the story?
Yes,
okay.
I'm listening.
So, and most of the other geese had left, but there were about 2 or 3 flocks that were still up there just enjoying the lakes. They hadn't frozen over yet. They hadn't had real cold nights yet. But pretty soon they realized, we need to leave. And so Boo Boo, the head of the one geese flock, said, hey boys and girls, we need to leave. All the other geese have already left. And they said, why, Boo Boo, we're having fun. He goes, but we need to leave because it's getting cold and we may run into the storms if we don't hurry up and leave. But Boo Boo, we love the water and we love it up here in Michigan and we just want to stay around just a little bit longer. And he goes, but guys, we need to leave. And I said, but Boo Boo, one more night. He says, okay, we'll stay one more night, but that's it. And so they stayed that night. And when they woke up in the morning, some of their feet were frozen to the lake. Boo Boo goes, oh no, your feet are frozen to the lake. Those of us that can fly, get water and take over to their feet and get their feet off the lake. And so they started getting water on the unfrozen part of the lake and taking it to the frozen part and putting it on the feet of the ducks whose feet were frozen to the lake. And finally they got free and they said, we need to start flying now. We need to fly south now. It's getting cold. And Boo Boo said, I'll lead the way. And so here goes Boo Boo.
Pops, why is his name Boo Boo?
Because you will remember it. And so Boo Boo,
I know why. Because he has boo-boos.
Boo Boo started flying, and all the geese started flying. They started going, honk, 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 honk. And they flew for several hours, And pretty soon, they saw up ahead a big white blanket. And Boo Boo goes, oh no, oh no. And he goes, what's wrong? He says, we got to fly higher. There's snow up ahead. And so they started going higher. And they said, we're getting tired. We got to get above it. It's coming our way. And they started getting higher. And they couldn't get above it. And so they said, let's go lower. Go real low. And maybe we'll get underneath it. So they started flying lower down towards the ground. And they couldn't find a way out. And there was snow all around them. And they were all getting confused and mixed up. And they didn't know which way was north. And there was Farmer Frank. And Farmer Frank heard the geese out there going, honk, 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 honk. You know what they were saying? Help me, help me, help me, honk, 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 honk. And Farmer Frank went out to his big, huge barn, put on his heavy coat, put on his goggles, and his mask is so cold out, and the wind was blowing, and the snow was blowing, and it was getting deep on the ground. He heard honk, 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 honk. He said, the only thing I know to do is to open my big old barn doors. So he opened up one side of the barn door, and then he opened up the other side of the barn door, and he says, come here, fly in here. And they go, oh no, he wants to catch us. We can't go in there, we can't go in there. And he turned lights on, and they flew around a couple times, and all he could think of was he had a pet duck. And the pet duck was named Whack. Whack, whack, whack. And so he said, Whack, go in the barn and maybe they'll follow you. And they go, they won't follow me. I'm a domestic duck. He said, go in the barn and maybe they'll follow you. So he took Whack and he put Whack in the barn. And all of a sudden, Boo Boo says, look, let's go in the barn. And Boo Boo said, follow me. And Boo Boo went down. He saw Whack, Whack. And they went in the barn and all the ducks were saved. And that's the story of Boo Boo, Whack, Whack, and Frank.